Good morning, Kindred Spirit. Diane here, Queen of Plan B, and a storyteller telling stories about how to cultivate life, period. The intention is to cause a pause in the busyness.
I love that little house. Look at the artwork on it.
Oh, cute. Days pass. We're all doing the best we can, and that's enough. And these little stories that I tell are my attempt to share how to widen our perspective and maybe help all of us to enjoy now. Looking at it from a bird's eye view. And I'm going to call the story Looking Out the Window. Stay tuned. There's always more. Many moons ago, I had a conversation with a friend that upon the years go by, and I'm talking about 20 years by now, have come to take new meaning to everything. How to start when a story is that long. That is a storyteller's job, a storyteller's charge, storyteller's way. Taking all kinds of experiences and condensing it into a story that uplifts, supports, and possibly creates a happier human being. And from my perspective, one happier human being, many happier human beings, seeing life from a perspective that can see more than just right is in front of us, could be what we're here for, could be what could make this life, what could make this planet that we all share a happier place to be for everyone. And all we have to do is be open to allowing a larger perspective, a wider perspective. And if more people are soaring with a wider perspective, it causes everyone else to look up. Yeah. So before I start, if you're here for the first time, welcome. Please subscribe if you like what you see here, and give me a thumbs up. And also chime in with your perspective, because all our perspectives is what is going to help all of us soar. Once upon a time, there were two humans. One of those humans was me. And this other human and myself had just met. We were getting to know each other a little bit. We were at a creativity camp. It was really a lot of fun. At the end of the day, we were talking about how much fun it was when the conversation turned to complaints about her husband. And she proceeded to tell me that when they were driving together and he was driving and she was riding, that he never seemed to take her pointers about how more easily to get from where they were to where they were headed. Her perspective was, I travel these roads every day. I know the best way to get there. His perspective was, let me drive. Her complaint was, I know these roads. Why won't he listen to me? She told her story, and when it goes to its natural little pause, what I answered was, wow, I really have to drive a lot. And so when my husband is driving, I take that opportunity to look out the window. Kind of threw cold water on the conversation. And this is what I'm talking about, is when an unexpected comes into a conversation, pause. And I didn't even realize that I was doing it. That was just my response to her story. What she told me the next day was, wow, I was really thinking about that conversation we had. And I have to admit that I was expecting you to get down and complain along with me. And you didn't. And when I was talking to my husband last night, I mentioned it. And he said, oh, I like Diane already. And so a short time later, my husband and I ended up traveling across the country to spend time with my friend's husband and her. It was really, really, really a great friendship, and still is all these years later. And over those years, it turned out to be a diffuser between them when he was feeling that she was just trying to control things. Who knows? Maybe that is a secret to longevity. And recently, in talking to my friend, the subject came up again about looking out the window. And I guess, who knows why, but in some way, my friend felt the need to reiterate what the original meaning was behind it, or what my take was of why I said this in the first place. She felt that he was using it as a way to get his way, as a way to kind of put her in her place in a loving way that has become, just part of their discourse. And that's what happens to words and phrases that we use and reuse over the years. The meaning gets diluted into our perspective, and not so much what the original intent was. And so my friend said, hey, what Diane meant when she said that all those years ago was that as someone who feels the need to be the person who keeps track of everything, how wonderful is it that there's someone in our lives that we can trust to drive now and then. And so we get the opportunity to look out the window instead of trying to make everybody happy. Looking out the window is a way for us to get a larger perspective, to see that we're not in charge. We have no control over whether someone decides to be happy or not. The only control that we have is managing our responses. And in that, the only way to expand is to have opportunities to look out the window. That for me is the meaning and the power of self-care. Self-care is not about being selfish. Self-care is every once in a while expanding our perspective of what is going on. And what is going on? The expansion of love. And when we tap into that, when we're lined up with that, everything else takes care of itself. If you're still here, I appreciate it. This is the work I'm to be doing in this world. And if you'd like to support me in this work, consider becoming a patron. Once a month, I let you in on what I'm doing the next month, giving you the opportunity for us to meet up in person. And also, as you watch the stories, see how all our stories are woven together, becoming a bigger picture and more happy perspective for more kindred spirits in this world. See you real soon.